Hello, mamas, and welcome to class. In today's portion of the series, we're going to be exploring a very yummy yin yoga flow. So in our last class, we did a vinyasa yoga flow, which linked breath to movement in a synchronistic flow. And in today's yin class, we're bringing balance to those bipolar, contrasting light and dark, yin and yang, giving and receiving energies within inside ourselves to regulate the nervous system. So you can do this class morning, afternoon, or evening. It's essentially like you're taking your cell phone, yourself, and you're plugging it in and charging up. So as you shift into the parasympathetic with these tools, tips, and techniques, using the modality of yin yoga, your cells have the opportunity to charge. As we spend so much time in our left brain, very dominant giving of ourselves consistently, and specifically now that we're giving so much energy to growing this baby, bringing that time of charging, of rest and restoration regulates and balances the nervous system. Now bringing further awareness to the nervous systems being inherited as cells come from pre-existing cells from the wombs of our mothers and grandmothers and beyond. We are also taking a step into self-awareness and self-reflection and seeing how we tick and talk and how we respond and or react to day-to-day minor or bigger shifts and changes in energy or in experiences. So with that, as we shift into these yin postures, we will be holding them a little bit longer. And within this practice, we want to find what we call our edge. There will be no props needed for today's class, but if you'd like to bring them in as you have them at home already or understand already how to work with them, please do so. That is something that we will get into in our future classes of this series. And that's not needed for yoga props. There's household items that we can use as tiny amounts of support to assist us as our babies and our bodies are shifting and changing, expanding and growing, just like we're going to be expanding our awareness of ourself and doing a beautiful self-study session and connecting even further, developing that with our intuition, ourself, our cells, and our budding baby. We're going to start in a very nice Sukhasana easy seat, as you can see, with the legs crossed just in front, a long tall spine. And if this feels tight on your hips, you can expand your legs out farther in front of you, or bring the legs completely straight and flopped open. Just remember to keep those bipolar energies activated, drawing the root down in the ground and the heart lifting up towards the sky along with the crown of the head. You can begin to close the top eyelid over the bottom eyelid. And start to turn your focus into the feelings and sensations around your physical environment and body. Noticing any areas you might be slouching or holding any unnecessary tension. Taking any wiggles and movements, shifting from the left to the right. Bum, cheek, or sit bone. Slight shift forward and then back. Just finding that middle ground. rising out of the hips, lengthening through the lower back, drawing the lower belly and the baby slightly inward towards the spine. Lifting the heart up towards the clouds, drawing the shoulders up towards the ears, and then rolling and melting them in towards the back. You can feel a light scoop of the back of the heart up towards the crown of the head. And notice every minor and subtle shift and change. As you zoom your camera in a little bit closer, and begin this self-awareness practice. A slight tuck of the chin in towards the chest as if you're holding, you can visualize an apple or an orange. And you'll notice that will elongate the back of the neck. And then unwind your jaw. Let out a sigh or a yawn. Let the teeth remain parted. The tongue heavy. And the cheeks soft. Gazing into the backs of the eyelids. Smoothing out the forehead. Relaxing through the skull and the crown of the head. Just begin feeling any weight that you might be carrying, that you might have absorbed or taken on. It's not even yours. Or any unnecessary ideas or thoughts or feelings or actions you've taken or are having presently that are creating almost like this cloud around you, blocking any clarity, creating any false feelings, any silly narratives. And as we start to observe all those internal dialogues, we can begin to see who has the microphone, what voice we tend to listen to, and all this will teach us so much about ourselves. And then we have the opportunity to clear out any unnecessary beliefs or ideas or thoughts, or feelings or definitions or perspectives, so that we don't pass them down to baby. And what a beautiful gift that is, a present, to be in the present moment, aware of all the pre-sent energies, the ideas, thoughts, feelings, and actions that are then making up your physical body, health, wealth. And physical reality. Everything just projecting out from what's being carried within your cells. So just notice if you've compromised the spine and reach up again through the crown and readjust and realign and retune in. Just that moment-to-moment connectivity and awareness and management will help to release the control over the self and the excess amount of thought and action that we allow to happen by bringing in more of the idea and the feeling. And then allow a big breath to build through the belly, sipping in through the nose, expanding the ribs, the heart, floating out into the arms, all the way up into the crown of the head, and then pause at the top for just a moment and relax everything again. Make sure you can tighten up in the inhale or contract. And then exhale as you slowly draw everything inward towards your center, your core, like you're wringing yourself out. And then on your next inhale, visualize your entire body, every pore, just breathing in fresh oxygen. And then on the exhale, visualize any stale, imbalanced fear or false energy just melting back into the ground. And on that inhale, pause at the top, relaxing everything. And then at the exhale, draw everything in to the center, to the core, to that inner fire, to be burned away as you release it and recycle it back into Mother Earth. And you can begin, if you haven't already, to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And then we're going to practice just a few rounds of receiving breath as we shift into a nice warm up position for our yin yoga flow. So just begin to make circles with your body, imagining you're drawing a circle beneath you on your yoga mat, just shifting the weight left, right, forward. And then just going in that beautiful circle right to the back, coming towards the left side, moving forward, coming towards the right side. And just really notice with your mind, I'm going back, now I'm going left, now I'm going forward. Do a little cognitive therapy as we just communicate with the selves and visualize the mind and the matter, then working together, the left and right brain. And then begin to switch sides, just even internally saying, I'm switching sides, now going right, forward, to the left, and back. And as you continue those circles now in the alternate direction, we can just bring in the higher mind of when we go into the back, that represents the past, the sides, the present, and the front, forward, the future. Clearing off all directions, bridging all parts of the self together, leaving no gaps and holes in the awareness of our timeline, of our experiences. And then slowly just spiraling and making that spiral smaller and smaller until you come into a neutral stance. Readjusting your posture once again. And just taking a moment to thank yourself for that self-awareness, meditation, allowing you to shift gears and get into a more aware state, a more connected state. And we're going to flow into an Om. And to prepare for an Om, we inhale through the nose, and then we exhale, chanting Om. And we really want to enunciate that at the end and ignite all these yummy brain chemicals and pleasure hormones. So just wherever you're at with your breathing, releasing your next exhale and building the breath slowly, sipping it in through the nose, into the belly, into the heart, sitting up tall through the spine, into the brain, pausing at the top and release with an Om. Om. just feel that resonance from your own authentic tone rippling out. The cause and effect of everything, regardless how subtle or loud it might be. The light and dark and everything in between. And then begin to shift forward, coming into child's pose by bringing the big toes together, the knees out nice and wide. And we'll begin to walk the arms out in front of us, making a lot of room and space for the baby, bringing forearms to the earth as we inhale, lifting the heart forward, and exhale, drawing the tailbone back and down. And then begin to lower your forehead down towards the earth. And continuing our practice of self-connection, finding the area that is speaking to you the loudest in this posture, whether it's the mind, a physical sensation, or an emotional disturbance or distraction. And then zoom your focus into that area and send your oxygen and your breath. And then with the light communication internally, what is this showing me? Why is this the loudest? What is the language of this trying to communicate to me? Understanding how the body talks. On the inhale, slightly lift your forehead off the ground, reaching the heart forward, waving, and on the undulation exhale, melt yourself back down and maybe you sink a little farther forward or deeper into your hips. With the sound of the singing bowl, we'll begin to just walk our hands over to the right. Reaching through the diagonal, heart lifts on the inhale, and exhale, begin to fold forward, letting the neck go completely. Keeping the energy active and lifting up through the armpits. To allow the posture and the spine to stay nice and long and strong. Begin to walk the hands back to the center. And as I mentioned earlier, within Yin, we want to find an edge. So that's coming out of a zone of comfort. And with that can create a lot of sensation, a lot of inner chatter that we get to observe. And so with our pregnancy, we've already got a lot of pressure being applied to the cells. And we're already very much out of our zones of comfort. So we just want to be very careful and mindful not to put ourselves into any form of pain, as well as putting the baby in any placement that is unsafe. So keeping that baby nice and nestled in between the legs. As you just come a little out of your comfort zone to feel the stretch through the side bodies, letting the neck go completely. And then bringing the hands back to center. Bringing the forearms and the forehead back down to the earth and just pausing here for a few breaths. We're going to activate our receiving breath. And I want you to let go of all control of your inhale and exhale and just allow them to build organically. So we'll set up for this by drawing in the breath really big and really powerfully through the belly, in the heart and the brain, and exhaling a big clearing sigh out the mouth. And then let that breath out completely, the exhale. And then hold that breath out. And keep holding it out until you feel like you need to inhale, and let your body go into that natural inhale that will build. And then hold that inhale at the top just for a moment, just pausing, letting everything go. And then exhale. And exhale through the nose, as if you're melting a little deeper into the breath, into the mat. Let the exhale out completely, and then wait again to just receive that inhale. And then keep doing this on your own, noticing how easy or hard it may be to let go of that control of the breath. And trust that your body knows how to breathe, knows how much air it needs. And then continuing that cycle of breathing, that pranayama practice, we're going to begin to walk our hands back towards us, rolling up through the back of the spine, bringing our knees together, sitting onto the backs of the heels. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, plug them into the back, just bringing the arms behind you with the fingertips facing towards you, and set the palms down on the earth, bending at the elbows, drawing the shoulder blades together. Chin magnetizes towards the chest, looking down at the navel and the baby. Taking a few breaths here. As we just use this to counterbalance, coming up to set up for our next posture. Begin to walk the hands back towards you. Coming up into tabletop position. Once you've found tabletop position, we'll begin to slide our right knee behind our right wrist, and then bring our left ankle towards the back of our left wrist. Keeping the left leg behind us, begin to send it towards the back of the mat, sliding down into pigeon pose. You can walk your hands back towards you and feel that engagement through the root as you draw in a Kegel. And on the exhale, release the Kegel and melt a little bit further down into the pose as the shoulders plug into the back. If you'd like, and you can try this, take a big bend to your right knee, bending at the calf, and take a more modified pose and see if that feels better for you. And then we're going to come down to our forearms or staying up tall on our hands. If this is already enough for you, we'll just completely start to drop the chin into the chest and begin to find the area that's speaking the loudest. If you can come down to forearms, come down to forearms. Keep a nice flex through the foot to protect the ankle. And then wherever you are, let the head go completely. And find your camera and zoom it into the area that's speaking to you and begin to connect, sending the breath, asking questions. And bring yourself that 1 to 2 degrees out of a zone of comfort. Using the receiving breath. And on the inhale, imagining the entire body filling up with oxygen and fresh air. All the cells charging. And on the exhale, releasing everything that no longer is needed or serves you. Back into Mother Earth. On the next inhale, begin to slowly start to lift yourself up, pressing through the hands, rolling up through the spine. The gaze comes last. And we're going to do a really easy and sweet transition, just bringing the left leg in front of us, stacking it on top of the right leg or setting it in front if that's more achievable to you. Inhaling up through the arms, gathering all that higher mind. And exhaling, bringing the palms of the hand down towards the heart. And we'll just take a counter posture by walking the hands forward, pushing the bum back into the earth while reaching the heart up towards the sky. And we'll begin to walk the hands back. And we'll begin to set the right leg behind us, either bending at the knee or extending the tail out long. Walking the hands close towards the calf as you set up to inhale and engage through a Kegel. And exhale, release the Kegel as you begin to find your edge. Taking whatever adjustments and wiggles are needed, shifting forward and back through the hips. Slingshotting the heart forward as the spine and tailbone draw towards the back of the mat, creating that long line of bipolar energy, the contrast, which is needed. Our needs, our wants, our past, our future, day and night, parasympathetic and sympathetic, yin and yang, giving and receiving. As we learn to regulate our nervous systems and reprogram any unhealthy patterns and habits. Inhale, reaching up through the heart. And exhale, see if you can get a little deeper. Using the tools, finding the area that's speaking the loudest, sending it the breath, and beginning to talk to that. Get whatever information you can get. What is stored here? What do I need to become aware of? What is the root of this? How can I perceive this differently? Why is this coming up for me? For some examples of questions I can generate for you as you're building this practice And then the questions you'll just start hearing, like you hear all those other voices. We're going to start starving the voices that are unnecessary and fueling the voices that are working with our most purest, genuine, and authentic selves. These guides, angels, ancestors. Higher dimensional beings. Simply just meaning they're in a higher frequency and vibration, not on this earth plane, in this physical form. Those chromosomes that we were talking about, that experience of having this fleshy, more plasmic, human-like, fifth dimensional playground to play on, where we get to journey through all our array of hues and find out all the different facets and talents and hobbies and interests and experiences we're meant to have and learn and explore. Everything that this baby's reigniting, helping you remember as it reincarnates large pieces of you and your partner. Just begin to circle the neck. Alternating directions as you prop up on to the palms of the hands, sink into the left sit bone, and draw the right leg, stacking it on top of the left or in front. Inhaling the arms to gather the higher mind above the crown. Exhaling the palms down to the heart, walking the hands forward in front of you, reaching down through the tailbone as you cast the collarbones and heart forward. Breathing into that counter stretch. And then from here, just begin to draw the legs into butterfly position, bringing the soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall through the spine. You can draw the heels a little farther away from you if that creates a more enjoyable sensation. From here, we'll inhale our arms all the way up to the sky, reaching the left arm behind us and the right arm to the shin or the knee, slightly pulling it towards us to elongate through the spine up towards the clouds and shift into just a slight light twist. Shoulders plugged into the back. On the inhale, let yourself naturally unwind. And on the next inhale, arms come back all the way up to the sky. Reaching the right arm behind you and the left arm to the shin or the knee, drawing it towards you to lift up through the crown, through the heart, towards the ceiling, and then shifting gears into your light twist, coming into your edge. And then inhale to naturally unwind, keeping that same receiving breath. Palms come to belly. Humbling your head into your heart, keeping the eyes closed as you gaze down through the main governing channel. Into the belly, towards the baby. And instead of using your eyes, use your mind's eye by gazing into the back of the eyelids, into the upper forehead, and imagining a little growing white light, or maybe you even see a light and it's a different color. take this time and send whatever you'd like to baby. Compassion, love, patience, courage, humor, grace, perseverance, passion. And then bring your hands into prayer position in front of your heart, keeping your head humbled, spine long and tall, grounded into the earth through the sit bones. And I suggest for you to keep this mind and body connection going, to go directly to your journal and take all the things you became self-aware about and begin to reflect on them and record them to keep track of your experience and help yourselves and your mind continue to sew everything together to no longer sever or compartmentalize ourselves. And take this moment to thank yourself for taking the time to do this for you and the baby. And affirming, I am everything my baby needs. Namaste. And we'll see you in the next class of your prenatal journey.